Okay, so let's go ahead and check out these questions. So, number one, for x equals 7, which of the following is the smallest? What did we get for this one? You can feel free to type your answer into the chat, although I would more than encourage you to shout it out. Okay, Kemi says B. And are there any other responses? No? All right. Well, Kemi, guess what? I agree. So if you check out each of these answer choices individually, you see that A is 6 over 7, B is 6 over 8, C is 6 over 6, D is 7 over 6, and E is 8 over 6. These three automatically cancel because they are greater than or equal to 1, while the other ones are smaller than 1. So we know it can't be C, D, or E. Now, 6/7 and 6/8, which one is bigger? Well, obviously, 6/7 is bigger because 7 is a smaller denominator. So this is the smallest fraction, and thus B is the right answer. So good job to Kimmy and to those who solved this question. Are there any questions on the previous question? No? Okay. Problem 2. Um, this weird configuration of A, B, C, D is equal to A times D minus B times C. What is the value of 1, 2, 3, 4 in this weird configuration? Okay, Kimmy says it's B. What do everyone else think? Leo, what do you think? And Loy, Joyce, did you guys also get B? Okay. Leo says that he got answer E. So let's take a look at this. So for this question, all we have to do is plug into the formula, right? So A times D minus B times C. So what is A in this question? Well, A is the top left number, so it's 3. What is D? Well, it's the bottom right number, so it's 2. Now, what is B? B is the top right number, so it's 4. And finally, C is 1. So if you evaluate this, it's 6 minus 4, which is 2. So the answer choice is E. Are there any questions on this problem? Okay, hopefully fairly straightforward and easy because it is the first 1, 2, 4. Okay, problem 3. What is the quotient of 3/8 plus 7/8 divided by 4/5? What did we get for this question? Okay, Kimmy says it's D. Well, let's take a look. So if you just add these fractions together, in which you can in the numerator, because it's 3/8 plus 7/8, so it's 10/8. You can simplify 10/8. Sorry, that was my bad. Oh, someone typed into the chat. The Kimmy says, so 10/8 simplifies to 5/4, right? Because 10 divided by 2 is 5, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4/5. Then, since dividing by a number is equivalent to multiplying by its reciprocal, we have 4/5 multiplied by 5/4. I'm sorry, 5/4 multiplied by 5/4, which is clearly 25 over 16. Are there any questions on this problem? This is like a basic fraction review. All right, let's take a look at the last warm-up question. How many triangles are in this figure? Note some triangles may overlap other triangles. What did everyone get for this question? 5. Okay. Lloyd, Joyce, what did you guys get? Did you guys solve this question? How many triangles did you count? Wait, I just joined. Oh, hi Jasper. So as usual, we're going over some AMC questions. This is the last warm-up question, but you will have a new set in like 1 minute. So just hang on for a second and just follow along. Okay, I think we have a lot of disagreeing answers on this problem. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show the solution, right? So for this problem, you really just have to count, right? So see, this is one triangle, right? Agreed. This is another triangle, agreed. This is another triangle, right? So just simple small triangles, we have 3 of them. Now, if you count a bigger triangle, you see that there is this 4th triangle. So +1, right? I'm not sure where you guys are getting 6, but the last triangle would actually be just a big triangle. So equals 5. I'm not sure where you guys got that 6 triangle, but okay, Jasper, you just highlighted this one, but that was included in the 3 initially. So I'm not sure where you got that 6th one. But the answer should be 5. So um maybe you guys highlighted this thing, but remember that's actually a 4-side shape, so it's not a triangle, right? So yeah, I think there's probably like some minor issue. But yeah, the answer should be 5. I mean, it's just the 3 small ones, this one, and the big one. So yeah, the answer should be E. Any questions? Wait, we're waiting. Okay, Jasper, here, why don't you highlight the triangles for me and we'll look at where you went. Just like circle them as you count. Jasper, you want to go ahead and annotate? Just do this and like show us how you got the triangles. Oh, yeah. Okay. No worries. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to some harder questions. So again, we're jumping around a bit today. So instead of going from 1 to 12, we're gonna skip right out to 8. So these are much harder, so I'll give you like 10 minutes to solve them, and we'll reconvene in just a bit. Good luck. Yeah, I think most of us are pretty much done. So let's just go ahead and talk about these questions. So problem 8, a child's wading pool contains 200 gallons of water. If water evaporates at the rate of 0.5 gallons per day and no other water is added or removed, how many gallons of water will be in the pool after 30 days? Jasper says C. Bella says C. C, ew, one half of it is P. Huh, that's not good. But yeah, I agree. I think it's C too. And basically how you would solve this question is that since it evaporates at a rate of 0.5 gallons per day, and you're doing this for 30 days, the days cancel, and you end up with 15 gallons of water that is evaporated. And since you started with 200, you take 15 away from that and you get 185, which is C. Any questions on this? Nope. Alrighty, let's look at number 9. All right. For a sale, a store owner reduces the price of a $10 scarf by 20%. Later, the price is lowered again, this time by one half the reduced price. The price is now A, $2, B, $3.75, C, $4, D, $4.9, and E, $6.4. What are our answers? Kimmy says E. Okay. I mean, Kimmy, um, I would think that E is actually the answer. I would eliminate the first, right? Because if you think about it, you first lower the price of $10 by some percent, right? And then after that, you cut one half of that price. So there's really no way that the ending price could be more than 5, right? So it's probably not E, right? Like if you were to eliminate any answer first, 6.4 is probably the answer you would eliminate first. So, okay, Jasper says C. Um, are there any other responses? Loy, Joyce, Bella, what do you guys think? Okay. All right, let's just, this is actually a really straightforward problem because you start with $10, right? If you reduce it by 20%, you're really having 80% of the original price, right? Because you cut it down by 20%, so you're left with 80% of what you had originally. So you multiply by 0.8. And by the way percentages work is that if you have like a decimal, say like 0.74, then you would move the decimal 2 places to the right and add a percent sign. So you end up with 74%. So 0.74 is equal to 74%, right? Um, yeah, so if you do this, you see that 10 times 0.8 is $8. So half of that is equal to $4. C, right here. So the answer is C. Yep. Are there any questions on this? That is cheap. I would buy that. Um, all right, problem 10. Each of the letters W, X, Y, and Z represents a different integer in the set 1, 2, 3, 4, but not necessarily in that order. So if W over X minus Y over Z is 1, then the sum of W and Y is what? Jasper says E, Kemi says A. What does everyone else think? What do you think, Leo? Loy, Joyce? Were you guys able to solve this question?
About 7.
Xeon says 7. Yep, Xeon, I definitely agree. And great job to everyone who said 7. So this question is a bit, oh shoot, I just stopped. my God. Okay, so this question is a bit of a guess and check question, but there is some ways that you can make this easier for you. And yep, Jasper, that's right. It's 7. Good job to everyone who said it's 7. So first of all, you know that 3 and 2 and 4 cannot go together, right? So it cannot be, what I'm saying is like you can't have 3 divided by 2 or like 3 divided by 4 or like 4 divided by 3 or 2 divided by 3, because doing so would give you fractions and you don't have enough numbers to introduce another fraction to cancel with a fraction and give you an integer, right? Because like say you have like 3 halves, then you would have like minus 1/4 or minus 4 ones, and neither of these will give you like an integer, right? So if you introduce a fraction, you're not going to get an integer. But then you see you would only have so many choices, right? You would have 4/2 and like 3/1. But then, oh wait, check this out. What is this? 3 divided by 1 is 3, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that gives you 1. So then the answer is just w plus y, 3 plus 4, which is 7. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a guess and check, but you know, since the fact that you have to get an integer as an answer really limits the number of options there are, right? Because like it's pretty much saying that 1 and 3 has to go together and 2 and 4 has to go together. And once you figure that out, it's really just a matter of like 2 options. So are there any other questions about this problem? All right. Let's take a look at the last question. Harry Potter has 3 sisters and 5 brothers. His sister Harriet has S sisters and B brothers. What is the product of S and B? I think everyone is saying A. Huh. Okay, guys, first of all, note that it says the product, right? The product, not the sum. A product is a multiplication question. Right, okay, I'll give you like 30 seconds to recollect your thoughts. Are you sure it's A? Because I don't think so.
It would be 15 then.
Hmm. You know, that's actually not correct, guys. I'm sorry, but the answer isn't 15. And I think how you guys got 15 is you saw like what is the product and you saw 3 and 5, so you just multiply these two together. But you got to see that you're talking about his sister, right? Not him. So if Harry is a brother and he has 3 sisters and 5 brothers, his sister Harriet is one of these 3 sisters, right?
Oh, so 2 times 6.
Right, exactly. So Harriet has 2 sisters because she herself is a sister. And since Harry is one of the brothers, I mean, since Harry is another brother, you would add 1 to 5, so 2 times 6, so it's 12. So yeah, Zayan, that's exactly correct. Great job. Um, this is really a really easy problem, right? It's literally just like 2 times 6, but the fact that so many of you tripped on this one means that the AMC, a lot of times they give you these trick questions and you really just have to read it carefully. So, um, now that we got this covered, we're gonna solve 3 more questions and then I think we're gonna jump to problem 18. So I'll give you like 5 minutes to solve these because even though this looks hard, it's actually not too bad. And then we'll talk about them after. So go ahead and I'll see you in 5 minutes. All right, y'all smart fifth graders. I think we're pretty much ready. So let's just take a look at these. Um, I mean, we are preparing for the AMC 8, and by definition, AMC 8 stands for AMC 8th grade, right? So all of these questions are up to stuff you learned in 8th grade. But I mean, we're like in the upper half of the test right now, like we're going through 1 through 15. So these shouldn't be too bad. It should be like, I don't know, maybe not 5th grade, but probably like 6th or 7th, right? It shouldn't be too bad. So let's take a look at this. So problem 12, you have this huge arithmetic equation. What did we get for this? Did you guys solve it? Did no one solve this question? Okay. A 5th grader says A.
It should be like wait. Yeah, it's hold on. So that's 1/2 times 2. Each one is 1, right?
Maybe. Maybe not. Here, okay, let's just take a look. Let's find out. So what I would do is like I would evaluate the stuff in the parentheses first, right, Xeon? So you have like 2 times what? 1 minus 1/2. That's 1/2, right? So and then you have 3 times 1 minus 1/3. What's 1 minus 1/3? Well, that's 2/3, right? Because you have 3/3 and 1 and minus 1/3. Take 1 away, you have 2/3, right? And then you have 4 times 3/3 and 3/4, right? Because you have 1 minus 1/4, so it's 3/4. And plus all the way to what? 10 times 1 minus 1/10, that's 10 times 9/10, right? 10 times 9/10. So now if you clear the fractions and multiply these out, you see that you have 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to plus 9, right? Because these numbers cancel out. So what is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way to plus 9? Well, there actually is a formula. It's called an arithmetic sequence formula. And you would get 10 times 9 over 2 equals 45. So the answer should be A. But let's say that you never learned about this formula. So how could you solve this question? Well, I'm going to show you how to derive this formula, right? So it's actually pretty cool because it's actually very intuitive. Why is people saying bro? What happened? Okay, let's just take. I got it wrong. No, it's okay. So first of all, let's say you let s, the variable s, equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9. And now if you write it backwards, it's still equal to the same number, right? Like if you write it like this, it doesn't change the value, right? Plus, 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 plus. But if you write it like this, what happens now? Notice that all of these columns add up to 10, right? So if you add these up, 2s is equal to 10 times what? How many copies there are? Well, since it's 1 to 9, there's exactly 9 copies. So s is equal to 10 times 9 over 2, which is 45. Pretty big brain, right? So in general, the formula for the arithmetic sequence like this is the first term plus the last term times the number of terms there are divided by 2. So, and again, if you ever don't remember the formula, you can always just do it like this, right? Because it's actually a very intuitive formula. If you guys want to hear a legend, there's this great mathematician Gauss, and when he was in fifth grade, his teacher was trying to like troll him. So his teacher was like, "Hey guys, add up the numbers 1 to 100." And so all of his classmates were spending time on their desks, and like adding the numbers one by one. But Gauss is like, you
在
know what?
听他。
I think there's an
嗯，
easier way to do this. So he lined the numbers up just like the way we just did,
他在解
and
释啊，
wrote
我可
down
以
the
听。
answer while everyone was
嗯，
still calculating. And so it
我早
became a
就
math.
正在做好所有的了。
Yes, Sion?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. Are there any questions about this? No? Everyone is a mathematician now? All right. Okay. Let's take a look at number 13. Kimmy, we're doing math. That's what we're doing. We're trying to increase your intelligence. What is the ratio of the area of the shaded square to the area of the large square? The figure is drawn to scale. What did we get for this one? Jasper says C, 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 C. What does everyone else think? Kimmy also says C. Okay, Zion, what do you think? Bella, Jasper? No, I mean Jasper already responded, but
I think it's A.
okay. Why do you think so?
Well, we can calculate that this shaded square is exactly the bottom right corner is exactly the same area as the bottom right corner. And uh if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, it would be one bottom right corner. Six of those triangles. Um, six of the triangles and one of them shaded.
You know, Zion, I think that's a great observation, but I think you made one minor mistake, right? Because I think it's a great observation that you said like these two areas are equal, right? Because that's completely correct. They are equal. But the thing where you messed up is that there's actually more than six,
Well, there is.
right? Because if you count, there's like this one in the middle that's like inverted. And if you count it like that, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So you have 8 of these big triangles. So if one of them shaded, then it's actually 1/8, right? So the answer is C. Yeah, Jasper? Okay. Zion, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's good. Are there any other questions about this problem?
Uh, no, not exactly.
Okay, sounds good. Let's look at this one. This one's a bit convoluted, but at Anvil Junior High School, 30% of the students in the math club are in the science club, and 80% of the students in the science club are in the math club. There are 15 students in the science club. So how many students are in the math club? I don't know. B. Jasper says D. Okay. What does everyone else think? Maybe B. Okay. We're running out of time, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So, first of all, since you know that there are 15 students in the science club and that 80% of students in the science club and the math club, that means there are exactly 15 times 80% equals 15 times 0.8 equals 12 students in both the science and the math club, right? Because if 80% of the students in science club are in the math club and there's 15 science students, that means 12 are in both, right? But now, if 30% of the students In the math club, I'm gonna write it like this. X times 30%. In the math club, also in the science club, that means 12 students is equal to X times 0.3. Right? And so if you divide 12 by 0.3, you'd see that X is equal to 40. So the answer should be E. Is this confusing? Yeah, I mean, this question is a bit convoluted, but I think it's manageable. Are there any questions about this problem? No? Great. Let's take a look at a much harder question. So we're gonna jump to number 18.
All
Um,
right. Oh,
you know, it is number 18, but a lot of the questions are actually easier than you would think they are. So just take a look at these and I'll give you like a minute or two to think about them since we're running out of time, and then we'll go over them and you'll see how easy it actually is.
it would look like B.
What does everyone else think? Um, I agree with Zion here. I think the answer is B, right? Because this might be a little hard, but it does require like a little geometric imagination skills. So pretend that you go in the reverse direction, right? So you start with this and you go up. So that means if you unfold it, you would have a hole here and a hole here, right? So that's your first step. But since here you folded it in half, that means when you unfold it, you would have something like this. So the answer would be B. Do you guys all see this? There isn't really that much math involved and more like spatial reasoning skills, I guess. But does this make sense? Are there is there anyone who's like really confused about this? Okay, Kenny, we're gonna use the remaining brain cells you have to solve another question. Okay. Actually, this is kind of boring. Let's take a. Oh, yeah, this is an interesting question. It's problem 23. So let's just take a look at this. All right. And that will be the last thing we do today. Oh, I don't want to reach that site. No, no, Jasper, we don't want free brain cells. You have to earn these brain cells. Okay, how are we doing? Does anyone have an answer? Here B, one of them, Kimmy says. Does anyone else have an idea? Maybe, Jasper, maybe. E? Okay, I think we have a lot of differing answers, so I'm just gonna go through these. Okay, so yeah, you would first count the black triangles and then the white triangles. So let's look for a pattern here, right? This triangle has 0 black triangles. This triangle has 1 black triangle. This triangle has 3 black triangles. And the fourth triangle has 6 black triangles. You see that difference between this is 1. Difference between this is 2. Difference between this is 3. Thus, you know that these are the triangular numbers, right? In which you, every time to get from one number to another, you add a bigger number than the difference before. So add 1, add 2, add 3, add 4, right? So I'm gonna write down the triangular numbers here, right? Oh shoot, not that. Because 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 6 is 21, 21 plus 7 is 28. So this is the 8th triangular number, and thus would be our 8th triangle's number of black triangles. And now let's count the white triangles. So if you count the white triangles, you see that the first triangle has 1 white triangle, right? You have 1 white triangle. The second one has 3 right triangles. The fourth one, oh, actually not. No, and then you have to now count the total number of triangles, right? Because it's a ratio of the shaded versus total triangles. So the first triangle has 1 total triangle. The second triangle has 4 total triangles. The third one has 9 total triangles. The fourth one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 triangles. Now, if you see, the pattern is that these are all squared numbers, right? This is 1 squared. This is 2 squared. This is 3 squared. This is 4 squared. So that means the 8th number will be 8 squared. And so the answer would be 28 over 64, which simplifies to 7 over 16. So the answer is C. Are there any questions about this? I know it's pretty hard. Ugh. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions, that's all I have for today. And so thank you for coming and have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming. Good job, guys.